Very good morning once again. Like I mentioned, we are still tracking the COVID-19. Right now, we are headed to the Luzira prisons to take a look at what's happening there. Our reporter, Stephen Mbide, is on standby to talk to the Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Frank Baine. Well, a very good morning, Mr. Mbide. Where are you right now? I can see it's Luzira prisons. And what's the latest there?
Nakawa Division. I'm coming to you from Luzira prisons, the home of many inmates. And across Uganda, we have over now 60,000 inmates. They are being kept by the Uganda Prison Service, and we are in a time of coronavirus, COVID-19, which is ravaging the whole world. And now the World Health Organization has issued guidelines that are supposed to be put into place by those who are managing the facilities, detention centers across the world. And here in Uganda, the Ministry of Health has also domesticated these guidelines. And of course, even the security circles, the Uganda prison is putting into place these guidelines that are supposed to be put in place to make sure they detect, prevent, and care for the inmates and, of course, the staff here in Uganda. I'm going to be speaking to the commissioner, newly promoted commissioner of prisons, Afande, who's also the spokesperson of the Uganda Prison Service, Afande Frank Baine Mayanja, who is standing by me, next to me here. Mr. Mayanja, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Mbide and dear viewers.
We are living in the times that are really so difficult. The government, many people are saying that the prison service, this is the time that they are supposed to be at least releasing some of the prisoners, these inmates who are, many of them are believing that they are congested within your detention centers. And now this is the time, maybe you release some of them, like some countries have done, like in the US, in Ethiopia, they are planning to release some of them as Uganda Prison Service. How are you making sure that the safety of the inmates?
Well, that's a very good thinking. Of course, anything that leads to reducing the number of inmates and therefore congestion would be a positive situation. But according to the Constitution, the responsibility or the mandate to release convicted prisoners entirely rests with the prerogative of mercy, which advises His Excellency the President. And because of that, I don't think we have much to elaborate as Uganda Prison Service. But the only thing we can do is to assure the public that internally the management and the preparedness is good enough to protect whoever that is within our custody until such a time when this disease virus goes away.
Yes, we know you have those guidelines, but for now, some people would want to visit. There are some inmates, and maybe they are just left with 2 months to get out. They think that maybe those women who are having little
Well, I think Ugandans, let's understand what we call lockdown. The meaning of lockdown in this scenario is because the more you let people move, is the more you expose the population into problems. And right now, the problem is not for those people who are coming from inside, but actually the problem of those who are coming from outside, because they are the ones who are most likely to carry it to where they are going. So, you have seen, we are under the guidelines of the president. The vehicles are not, the public vehicles are not going. So, even if you release these people, how will they go? Two, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, some of them, criminality is not a one-day thing. Now, when you release them and they go back into where they have been doing, it means that when the enforcers of the law will pick them again, it is most probable, actually, they will already be contaminated. So, to me, for now, like you have seen, we're advising everybody to stay home. We're advising everybody to create space. Those who are already in one position, my preference is that we would rather keep them until such a time when the situation has normalized.
Let's talk about these 250, over 250
259 prisons, yes.
These prisons.
Yes.
Looking at the numbers, you are dealing with over 60,000 now.
Yeah, it's actually 61,000 now.
But when you compare with the detention centers, how are these health facilities inside them?
Of course, the truth is that we are congested, but in our congestion, first of all, we have been living in our congestion. The most important thing is that as long as we ensure that this disease does not cross the gate and go in, we are as safe as we have always been. And that is why the first thing we had to do was stop all the visitors to enter the prison. Secondly, we have put in place the washing points at every prison and every office.
Like just where we are standing
like
now,
where we
one-
are
one
standing.
here.
And then 3, we have also declared that any new entrant prisoner must be isolated for 14 days before they can be reintegrated with the others. But we have not kept at, they call it scenario 1, where you don't expect a case. We are even going a step ahead, that just in case a case came up, how do we do case management? That's why we have established Shtaria as an HDC, High Dependence Center, to admit any person that will be tested and found positive and actually need admission. But in addition, we have established another about 4 centers to cater for those who are walking. We call them the walking patients. In the Ministry of Health, they let them quarantine themselves at home. But for us, we have places. We have Ashema in Western, we have in Southwestern, we have Chenjojo in Western, we have Kaiti in Southeastern, we have Nakatonya Soroti in extreme east, we have Noya in the north. So, and we are sure and very ready that any person that comes in and is detected with the problem will not contaminate the rest. And if we can do that, then we have done our best.
Mr. Baine, I know as Uganda Prison Service, you have farms where these inmates, many of them go, you take them and do some community service, but also do some gardening. Just want to understand, how is this COVID-19 situation affecting you, even especially going to the farms?
One good thing, and this one is very, very, very good for the viewers. The problem is not from within, the problem is from those coming out. As long as we don't transfer prisoners from now here to go to the farms are safe. That's why even yesterday when I was discussing, I said, those who are within the farms, as long as they don't cross the prison boundaries, that is a restricted place. Because we need the food and there is no level of contamination. The problem is those who are mixing with people who are likely to have contacted the disease that would spread.
But generally,
and that's why the reception centers, nobody crosses beyond the boundary of the prison precinct.
Okay, generally, how is this situation that we are in of dealing with COVID-19 affecting you? How has it really affected you as a prison service?
To begin with, this was not part of our budget.
Maybe you can move towards the other shelter.
It's
just
okay.
because now there is some...
Maybe you.
Maybe
you. Let's finish
just
this.
for the machines.
You see, budget-wise,
because now there is some rain.
Yeah, we
need to protect these machines.
Okay.
Yeah. As we move, just explain to me.
So I'm saying
you as the.
What I'm saying is that we didn't have this in the budget.
First decide.
Yeah. We didn't have it in the budget, and because of that, of course, we have had to divert some resources to cater for this emergency, because it's not something small. Even if you look at the water points only, the water points only are not that small, the sanitation and the like. But then, of course, the doing of our activities. Yes, courts are operational, but they are largely operational by allowing people coming in than letting people go out. And that's why we find ourselves that the numbers actually are not going down. On the contrary, they will be going up because we still get some people from the police. But I'm happy that the Inspector General of Police is using his powers to make sure he does what? To ensure that he lets the minor offenders get police bond.
Okay, I just want to also pick your mind or just get an update. Last Saturday, there was a prison break in Arua. Just want to, have you got all the
Yeah. You see, on Saturday, we got a prison break from Arua. And of course, Arua is one of the technical areas that once in a while we get those problems. But in this case, we had a very notorious criminal who had been sentenced to life imprisonment. And after being sentenced, he had his friends, and he quickly mobilized them as a way of running away from life imprisonment. But fortunately, he was not able to go, although in the process, 17 of them managed to run away. Actually, since then, we have arrested 3. We are now looking for 14, and we shall get them.
And very finally is the situation for Lieutenant General Henry Tumukonde, who was brought when he was unwell, is now with you.
I am telling you, he is in a very stable and well-managed condition, and he will be there until such a time when he has finalized with the process of his sentence. I want to assure Ugandans that please, prisons are even more safer than these markets where I see people running and rubbing shoulders. Okay. We are observing the space, we are observing the hygiene, and we are doing everything possible to be with everybody in the fight. And join us, please. Relatives, don't come. Let's save our people. Let's be where we are.
That is the Commissioner of Prisons, the Uganda Prison Service, Fande Frank Baine Mayanja, Stephen Imbido Mpefesi wechibuga mbadde wano ku Uganda Prison Service, wano ku Luzira Prisons. And now we take you back to studio because we're going to get another live update coming up to you right now. Stephen Imbido taking you back to studio.